Back to 50, huh? Gave
Yeah,
up
I
on...
ran this at 51 last week, but I can't be seen doing that on camera, so I managed to get it down to 50.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Redemption with Jaden. We're back with some more Lackey Grand Prix gameplay, and now on to round 2 of Lackey Grand Prix 27. Over the last couple of weeks, I guess, with the last 2 Lackey Grand Prix games that have been on the channel. The finals for Lackey Grand Prix 26 and then round 1 for Lackey Grand Prix 27, I was playing a deck called Minimum Jerry, which was based around Jeremiah and building the smallest kind of offense that I felt like was viable with Jeremiah. And the defense for that was Babylions, using the new Raiders camp, which I've had some fun with. I thought is pretty good in at least in a Babylonian defense where you've got enough capture to really make it worth it. I think there are some other defenses that could utilize it well enough, but it can be a little bit tricky to build around. I was thinking maybe something in gray or brown would be fun to try out, because then you can really make use of Foreign Exile, which is like the synergy card with Raiders Camp that has pretty much never seen play. Even before rotation happened, I didn't really see it going around a whole lot. I mean, maybe some, but anyways, that was what it's been going on the last couple of weeks, and now I'm kind of continuing with the promo theme, even though, I mean, last few weeks wasn't really about Raiders Camp, but it was partially about Raiders Camp. Going on now, going further forward with this to get a couple of other newish and new promos that I haven't built around yet, in part because some of them were just added to Lackey. So we have Roaring Lion, Peter the Believer, I Am Grace, and Bound to the Law that all were just added to the Lackey plugin, so those are now available to use. And also, First Animals is one that I don't believe I've actually built a deck around yet, or at least not one for the channel. So that is going to be happening in here, as well as not Wild Animals, Roaring Lion, the new seasonal, winter seasonal promo for 2026 or 2025. But I guess I don't know. I mean, the 2025 2026 winter, because it goes through both, I guess. Here, I guess we put 2025 seasonal in the Lackey data, so that's what it is. We're going with that. But I just got my own physical copy somewhat recently. It's backwards for you guys, sorry. But the rule change that came out with this is that, as you can see, it has the identifier lion, even though it also has the identifier symbolic. So it is not an animal. It does not count for, unclean until evening, or, I can't search for it with 2x2, but I can target it as a lion with Pride of Lions, which, or, some other, like Devouring Lion, which bans to a generic, no, not that one. Where's the Hungry Lion? That's the one that bans to a lion. So it is a lion. It is not an animal. It is symbolic, so it's not human, not demon, not animal. So you can't target it as any of those things, but you can target it as a lion, which was a somewhat recent rule change, like pretty much that came out with this card, where if it is like even a symbolic lion, it's still considered a lion, which I think makes sense. I kind of see it going either way. It's not like, like it's obviously a lion, but it's not like an animal lion. So like it's a lion in shape, but I don't know. There's probably like some philosophical way to describe this, but basically, if you see it, you're like, oh yeah, it's a lion, but it's not. Even if it's not an actual animal lion. Same thing with the winged lion, which was printed, a while back, and now has gained the identifier lion. You can see it didn't have the lion identifier. This is also a demon, though. It's not symbolic, so it's a little bit different in that regard. But it is now a lion for the purposes of cards that refer to lions, such as Pride of Lions. All right, this is one thing about the. I'm trying out my intros on the Redemption CCG app, and I like it, like the look of it, and it's just nice because I don't have to lay the cards out on Lackey. However, the hovering sometimes is a little, like, I have to go all the way to the bottom of the card, kind of like you have to go from the bottom up almost to make sure you're getting the right card, and then I also have to click on it in order for you guys to see it. I've already complained to Tim about this, so maybe he'll fix it if I just keep complaining. Tim's doing a great job with this, so I'm really, really happy with all of the features that he's adding consistently, working on making this a really great app, as it already is. I mean, it's already very useful, but he just keeps on making it better, which is awesome. And I don't think he, I'm sure he already has a list of features and stuff that he wants to add to it, but if you guys are using it and you think of something, I'm sure he would love for you to reach out and to make suggestions about things that could change, because I think he wants to continue to improve it for sure. So, all right, Roaring Lion. What are we going to do with this card? I felt like just taking advantage of the lion synergies. The fact that it is a lion is kind of fun, and then also because you now get to do that with the winged lion, I thought that would be cool to take advantage of as well. So we're going to be doing a lion deck, but I mean, the winged lion, it doesn't really do anything other than the fact that it's Babylonian. So it's kind of just a connector piece in this deck, which is how we got to Babylions. Just kind of, taking out a little bit of the Babylonians and going in on the lions here. So we're going to be trying to play Pride of Lions pretty much every block if we can. There's not that many ways to search for it at least in Crimson. You've got a few ways in other brigades, Orange has some ways to get to it, or Clinging to Power opens it up in gray, black, and gold. But Crimson doesn't really have much, which is a little unfortunate. I guess you can do Unclean Until Evening, search for Crowd's Choice, and then search for it that way. But yeah, it's not ideal. So getting Pride of Lions to begin with can be a little bit tricky. But once you get it, hopefully you can play it on a lion and shuffle it back, use it again. The other kind of cool thing, I guess, because we have now 2 orange lions, and then also the Deceiver and Foolish Shepherd, and then an orange animal in reserve, is that we can have some splash stuff like Sin and Blasphemy, interrupt the battle, and play a New Testament orange enhancement from reserve. So we can either play Twice Afflicted, search discard pile for an orange enhancement, and play it. Hey, look, an orange enhancement. So just in case we play this and it gets discarded, it doesn't get shuffled after battle, if we lose the battle, or if it gets discarded some other way, or we just don't play it on the lion, then it'll be in the discard pile, and it can get it later off of an interrupt, which is nice, by getting Twice Afflicted from reserve, getting Pride of Lions back from the discard pile. Hopefully we're playing it on one of our lions here so that we can shuffle it back. Twice Afflicted doesn't say you have to play it on the same character. So even if it's on Foolish Shepherd, who's banding to a lion, so Foolish Shepherd, band to Negev Lions or something like that, play Sin and Blasphemy, interrupt the battle, then play Twice Afflicted, then you can play Pride of Lions on Negev Lions. You don't have to play it on Foolish Shepherd. So that is cool. And then the fact that Suicidal Swine Stampede is an animal is just kind of nice. You can use it to, you could use that with Sin and Blasphemy, just Sin and Blasphemy to Swine Stampede if you need to. You can take Swine Stampede with Covenant with Philistia, which is in reserve here, and then you get a draw 2, and then you can just use Swine Stampede off of Roaring Lion or Winged Lion, or even the Deceiver if you want to. The cool thing with that, too, is that Pride of Lions gets your lions back from the discard pile, so even if you play Swine Stampede on Roaring Lion or Winged Lion, then you can get them back with Pride of Lions later. You're not really giving up too much in that case. And then you always have the option to get this back with Twice Afflicted instead of Pride of Lions. So it's just very flexible in that regard, which is nice. There are no demons in reserve to add with it, but you can discard it to add the Winged Lion to battle if you want to. For, I don't know, I guess maybe if you feel like you're going to need an interrupt and you have Swine Stampede in your hand, you can add it to battle, discard it, add the Winged Lion, ban to another Babylonian, and then you can interrupt with Sin and Blasphemy, play Twice Afflicted from reserve, and then play Swine Stampede. I don't know. Lots of options here, lots of flexibility, which is cool. So that was pretty much the defense I wanted to go with. The Babylonians of note that were included are Babylonian Siege Army, because we do have that Crimson Evil character Unity, and this is just one of the most versatile and best Babylonian evil characters out there. So that was definitely one that I thought should be included, because the Unity is pretty easy to accomplish. I guess just don't put the Deceiver down. Then we've got Nebuchadnezzar. Doing the Toss the Next is great, especially if you're banding him into battle, which we're going to be trying to do with the Winged Lion. So, and then the Winged Lion, of course, is another Babylonian. So who we're going to ban to with Winged Lion, we're going to ban to either Nebuchadnezzar or Babylonian Siege Army, which is cool. One little combo you can do with Pride of Lions is if you ban in the Winged Lion and you ban in Hungry Lion, then the Winged Lion can ban to Nebuchadnezzar before Hungry Lion bans to another lion. So Hungry Lion, so you ban a Nebuchadnezzar, you toss the next good enhancement, and then you use Hungry Lion to ban two lions in the den to discard a human, or you ban to where's the Devouring Lion? Oh, yeah, Devouring Lion to reserve a human, and hopefully they don't have a way to instead it, but basically they just, instead of being able to negate it in special initiative, they pretty much have to be able to instead it. Notably, there is no lions in here, and by that I mean the Cloud of Witnesses 6/6 brown crimson lions card just called lions. I do have lions in the den, which kind of does the same thing, but it's a little bit different. I wanted to have both, but I mean it's tough to fit that many lions in, especially if you're wanting a little bit of the Babylonians in here. I had to cut one of the Babylonians I wanted to have in here, which was Belshazzar's 1000, I believe. Maybe I can just pull it up just to show y'all. Yeah, Belshazzar's 1000. May activate a Daniel artifact from deck or reserve. May ban to a generic Babylonian. None of this is super important, but I was going to have A-Bomb in the reserve and just have that be a little thing. But then the second part is kind of cool. Evil ban abilities cannot be negated. So Pride of Lions, if you play it on a lion, cannot be negated. But if you want initiative, say on this little 3/3 guy, you could also just play Pride of Lions on him. You wouldn't be able to get the search to be CBN, so if you don't have any lions and they're negating enhancements, then the band isn't going to do anything. Making the band CBN isn't going to do anything. But if you have some lions out already, playing Pride of Lions on this guy is going to be cool, because then it makes it cannot be negated because of that aspect, or not because it's being played on a lion, but because of his ability. As I described that, you can probably tell why it didn't end up in the final version of the deck. I was like, oh, this is super cool, make Pride of Lions CBN and the band ability, and I mean, the nice part is that if you take the lions from deck, and then you ban to them, even if they negate Pride of Lions, because the band ability cannot be negated, then the lions wouldn't go back, because when you take them with this first part of the ability, they go to your hand. Then when you ban them into battle, they're in play. And so when the take ability is negated, then the lions aren't in your hand to go back to wherever you took them from, if that makes sense. So that means that because they've already moved to another location, and they're not able to negate the band because evil band abilities cannot be negated, then the lions get to stay out. So it does make it kind of CBI, cannot be interrupted, but it only makes the band part of it cannot be prevented, if that makes sense. Yeah, okay. So that, yeah, I wanted to do that, but it didn't quite fit, and it was just easier if I could just cut out the A-bomb package that I had set up in here. I had Abomination of Desolation in reserve, but that was the only way I had to get it out at first. So then I decided to put Endless Treasures in the deck, and I was like, well, if I have Endless Treasures in the deck, then I think I want another Idol or Curse in the main deck, and so I put Idol of Nebuchadnezzar in there, which I was like, oh, this is kind of nice because I have ways to negate things, and like getting around some of the negated heroes and like cards and stuff is nice. Like Daniel especially, like Daniel the Apocalyptist. Michael also triggers that. So Idol of Nebuchadnezzar is pretty good against the Daniel offense, and so I was like, I kind of want that to help out my defense here because pretty much nothing here has CBP. There are very few modifiers on lions, which is a little annoying. I don't know. Maybe that's kind of a miss. You know, like Wild Ant or Roaring Lion is the first lion with a modifier, I believe. I know, and it's not even like a real lion. It's just symbolic. I don't know. So, and like this doesn't really do much against the Daniel band or like, you know, Daniel stuff unless they have board advantage, I guess. And, you know, you can discard one of them, but then it's just going to go back on top. So anyways, yeah, Daniel the Apocalyptist kind of just ruins this defense a little bit. That's part of why I have Humble in here, of course. I mean, that goes in pretty much every deck, but also why Covet is in here to hopefully get Humble from my opponent. Because the more Humbles we have, the better odds we have of actually getting this defense to work through Daniel. I mean, the cool thing is, like, they put out their big ban, and if they don't have anything to back it up, then you can just keep on playing Pride of Lions, and you can abandon all your dudes, and you got big numbers. So that can be kind of nice, but you know, you have to be able to avoid their Shattered and Scorched and Prayer Over Power. Actually, Prayer Over Power doesn't really do anything against that because they're already negating the lions, and they can't negate Pride of Lions, ideally. So, yeah. So we ended up cutting the Belshazzar's 1000 because didn't really need it, and ended up cutting the A-bomb. Like that, it freed up all those slots. Didn't really need Idol of Nebuchadnezzar. Didn't really need A-bomb, Endless Treasures, all that jazz. I was able to add Book of the Covenant back in, and then have some of the Covenants going in reserve here, like Covenant of the Philistia and Covenant of Prayer. So I, ended up going with that. I did do one like playtest game, or like testing the deck, and like you guys can thank me because I think that the deck is a good bit better than it was when I tested it for the first game, and usually you guys don't get that. Usually the first game I'm playing with these decks that I'm building are the games that you guys get to see. And that's not to say it wasn't a good game. Like it was a very grindy game that we probably would have like timeout tied or something like that, but it was against Mitch. I didn't record it, but it was just like both of our defenses were just eating the other person's offense, and there were some cool comebacks, and he confusioned my Son of God, and it was it was cool, fun game, but it taught me some valuable things, helped me make the deck a little bit better here, and I think it's in a pretty decent spot right now. One of the things I was doing, I guess we can move on to talking about the offense now, was that I was using Father Abraham instead of this Abraham, and I think just the whole rework of the offense made this a lot better. I mean, I was kind of thinking like I kind of want to utilize first animals well, and doing that with Father Abraham is just not going to work super well because first animals is going to negate all of your other enhancements. So you kind of want big numbers. So, first animals. Negate other cards except Genesis heroes in battle. You may reveal hand, so your own hand, to draw X, limit 5. X is the number of animals revealed, cannot be negated. Little unfortunate that Devouring Lion, or Winged Lion and Roaring Lion do not actually count as animals for first animals. So we've got one, I should go from the bottom up. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the main deck, and we've got 1, 2, 3. So we've got 7 total animals between the main deck and the reserve. So we can, in theory, get a draw 5 out of this. But odds are it's probably not going to happen that way. Mostly it's just for the big negate, and then maybe we get a draw 1 or 2, 3 if we're lucky. But a lot of times the animals are just going to be on the board, and we won't be able to get them anyway. But we do have 2x2 in here that can go and take 2 animals from deck if you have Noah's Ark, or 2 from reserve, I guess, if you played on Noah. He's in here somewhere, yeah. So you can kind of set it up a little bit by playing 2x2, which I thought was kind of cool. We do also have this, Noah's Ark, Ark of Salvation, and then Storehouse in here as targets for Genesis fortresses. So we've got a few ways to search for animals to, find them. I almost, in the first version, this is another instance of where the first version of the deck needed some improvement. I had 1-for-1, the Lost Soul. In here, it's the one where, if you put it in your territory, you can shuffle a Son of Jacob from hand or territory to take a Genesis character or an animal from deck or something like that. And I was like, another way to take an animal, set up my first animals, and it's just, it's not good. You have to have a Son of Jacob first, which I'm not really that much into. At first I had a few more. I had Benjamin, I had Issachar, I think, at one point. But yeah, pretty much it's just Joseph and Judah at this point. Reuben's hanging out in reserve here. So yeah, just wasn't going to work. And those are most of the animal synergies. I guess Offering Your Son also works. You can grab another animal from reserve and set up first animals. So we've got ways to do it. Coming to Philistia too, to get our stuff. One thing that I thought would be kind of cool is using Israel's sword and Israel's bow, which both just let you bounce a character. It doesn't have to be a human. A lot of bounce abilities are just bouncing humans, but these are one of the few cards that allow you to just bounce characters. So I was like, oh, cool. I can use these, bounce my lions, and then play first animals to get, more draw. Unfortunately, first animals negates Israel's sword and Israel's bow before it lets you draw, so it would put the characters back in play if you're doing it in the same battle. So that's how Israel's bow ended up getting cut. Shout out to Tyler, who also, after the game, and I had gotten the deck trimmed down and tweaked a little bit, and as I was trimming it, or kind of after I'd trimmed it down, I sent it to Tyler and was like, hey, I need to cut one more card or 2 more cards or something like that. And he was like, where's your Faith of Abraham for, the first animals loop thing? And I was like, oh, shoot, yeah, I totally forgot that was actually a thing. I had Faith of Abraham in the first version, but I had so many ways to Abraham that I was like, I don't really need this, right? I can get Abraham back with Numerous as the Stars. I had that in reserve at the time. Ended up cutting that to put in Redemption. We'll get to that maybe in a little bit when we talk about the dominance. But anyways, Faith of Abraham says you place it on Abraham, you can tutor him, whatever. If Abraham's blocked, you can play a Cloud or Genesis enhancement. Your heroes have site access. So once he's blocked, then you can just play first animals. Negates other cards except Genesis heroes in battle, which includes Faith of Abraham because it's placed on your Abraham in battle. And so that negates the playability. Shoots first animals back to your hand. You still get to reveal your hand and draw X, limit 5, and it still cannot be negated. So that is a pretty cool combo, which means you can just play first animals every turn, which is cool. Which also, that means that if you have Faith of Abraham in your opening hand, you have the whole combo. You can set everything up, because what you can do is use Faith of Abraham. Hopefully you have a hero to play it on. You go find Abraham, So search your deck for him, place it on him. Then Abraham searches for a Genesis 12 to 24 hero and bans to him. So you're going to go get, not that guy, you're going to get 3 visitors. And then exchange this hero with a Patriarch from your deck, which is going to be Jacob. Take a Genesis enhancement from deck. Hey, look, a Genesis enhancement. So you've got at least Abraham and Jacob in battle. You can ban another Patriarch if you got one. And then you get to play first animals right after your opponent blocks, negate all their stuff. You've got big numbers. You're negating all the things. Hopefully you got to draw a few cards. Just seems pretty good. Right? So I think that is that's kind of like the goal of the offense. If you happen to get that turn 1, fortunately there's not really any good ways to get Faith of Abraham on turn 1 and be able to play it. You can play Faith and get Faith of Abraham that way, but then you're using up your 1 territory class enhancement with that, so you don't get to play it right away. You can do Mayhem, you can do Crowd's Choice, you can do things that like look at the bottom 6 cards of your deck and top deck a good card, and then you maybe get it with like Prosperity or Grumbled or Shepherds like that. Like, there are definitely ways to make it more likely, but yeah, it just didn't really feel like it was needed. Like, it's just like, it's nice if it happens, but it doesn't have to happen that way. You've got other good turn 1 attacks, like, just having Noah with some other backup, having First Sacrifice, having Joseph or Judah plus out of their hands. I mean, just like Joseph to search for out of their hands and then take out an evil character from their hand, or hopefully it's their only blocker or their only negate or battle winner or something like that. Whatever you need. So yeah, we've got good options, or just straight up Jacob to take a Lord Provides, or just take first animals and play it in special initiative or something like that. So you've got good stuff you can do. This offense is actually like kind of crazy fast, which is cool. Abraham searches for stuff. Eliezer draws some cards. Isaac draws cards. Gets Jacob and or Esau from deck or reserve. Unfortunately, you can't do deck and reserve. I do have Esau in the reserve over here, you may have noticed. And so first time Isaac comes in, you can go get Jacob. If an animal or meek hero is in play, you may draw 2. Hopefully we've got an animal down. If not, you can just put Jacob in play as meek, or put somebody else in play as meek, and draw a couple cards with Isaac. And then the second time he comes in, you can do the same thing, except you play Esau from reserve this time. And just get him out, get him rolling, start taking out some animals and playing some cards. Play your Pride of Lions or Seized by Babylon or whatever. Yeah, I don't have a lot of stuff for Esau to play here. Like Stolen Blessing can be nice, or Forest Fire. Pride of Lions is okay, but I'd rather play it on a lion. Seized by Babylon is good. Mask of Vanity is good. If you do... what was the... no, that doesn't work. Never mind. Okay. Disregard that. Okay. The rest of the offense, a lot of it's built around first animals. So we've got some stuff that's CBN, which can be nice. Copy negated if used by a meek hero. And then this is also good anti-A-bomb tech, and negates an evil or neutral card, which A-bomb happens to be a neutral card. First Sacrifice can also do that. Hit A-bomb in special initiative, so that's pretty nice. We're also just, we're playing Abraham, which is kind of the ultimate answer to A-bomb, except for if they have like Humble, I guess that can be good. Can kind of slip under in that regard, but otherwise we're doing a pretty good job of negating their neutral cards and making sure that's not going to be a problem. Israel's Sword, also CBP, which can be nice for both Noah, or if you have a meek hero that you're playing first animals on. So like you play first animals to negate everything, and then Israel's Sword to bounce their dude. Yeah, and then Forest Fire is actually that was one of the last cards I added, but one that I think is going to be, it makes a lot of sense. You can see I've got 3 green heroes in here that all would use it in various scenarios. Jacob maybe the least likely to, I guess, but Noah, it's great because you're preventing cards and playing that on him. is going to be really nice. Joseph, he just gets initiative, so having another battle winner to play on him is great, especially if you play first animals first to negate stuff, and then Forest Fire, play that with the CBP layer on there. And then on the defense, you've got Unclean Until Evening, which is negating other enhancements. So if you play that first and then you need to drop a Forest Fire, then you're good in that regard. So it just seemed like I needed a little more CBP stuff. Behemoth, also pretty good. You can negate opponent's card and then cannot be prevented by a human hero. You can use that on offense or defense, which is great. If you're playing it with Noah doing a convert or with first animals, both of those would technically qualify as being a human hero source of negation because you're playing first animals on a human hero, presumably. And so, yeah, Behemoth would not be able to be prevented from either source. So, lots of good stuff going on here in the offense. I really like how it came together. There are definitely a lot of directions to go. Hendrix was talking about this on the podcast. I was just listening to it like yesterday, I think is when I got to it. Because there was a question of what does blue need to be competitive at nationals, and he was like, just needs a fair shot, like kind of not hindering any of the specific strategies because there's just so much in Genesis to cover that everything was kind of, I felt like everything was neutered a little bit so that it wasn't just like too overwhelmingly good, which is understandable. But I think there's a good argument for this lineup. I could be wrong. Maybe this just looks like what Hendrix has been playing for the last, couple years or whatever. But I do like this whole lineup and the first animals thing. Like it's kind of fun. And I thought that it was really funny that he mentioned that as like, it has a synergy with animals now, but animals are, subpar defense. I don't think he's wrong entirely, but I had fun with this defense. I've had fun. I played a couple games with it so far, which is a small sample size, but I don't know. Maybe I'll bring it to the tournament that we've got in a week and a half or so in Minnesota here. It'd be kind of fun to try it out, and I get to play with my my new Roaring Lion physical copy. All right. I think I talked a little bit about the Lost Souls. Let's talk about the dominant lineup. I talked a little bit about Out of Their Hands, and I briefly mentioned Redemption. I had Numerous as the stars in reserve as just a way to get some of my heroes back because there's, there are lines in this offense that you want to be able to make and to attack with consistently, especially the Abraham stuff going on, and Jacob, getting your resources and all that. So I was thinking Numerous as the stars would be a good way to make sure I could get my heroes back if I needed to. And there's a decent number of star cards that I can kind of finagle my way into my hand so that I can actually get the good amount of value with Numerous. But I had I'm trying to figure out what dominant I had in here before Redemption. Maybe I was at 7 dominance. There was a dominant that I was like, oh, I don't really need this, so I can just cut this, and then I can add Redemption. And Buckler, that's what it was, because I was going like super all out on the like try to get to Abraham and try to get that set up as quickly as possible. And really it's just Abraham and Jacob, which doesn't feel great for Buckler, but like I had both Israel's sword and Israel's bow, so it made a little bit more sense. I think the fact that I didn't really feel like I needed Buckler, like I have enough ways to get to my heroes and I don't like have a specific attack that I need, and I cut Israel's bow, make space for Redemption, which made space in reserve, taking out Numerous. So I feel like that was the right call. I also just, like, as I mentioned that, realized that maybe Victorious Being is missing from here, Because, like, it can go to Isaac, it can go to Abraham. I guess that's it. Okay, maybe not. I don't know. Somebody can let me know if they think that Victorious Being should be in here, maybe instead of Angel of the Winds, but probably not. I like the negate of the evil characters there because I've got some Cloud Heroes. Okay, then maybe the other questionable dominant inclusion here is Doubt. I'm not entirely sure what just like made me land on Doubt, but I feel like just the I don't know, having more multi-brigade stuff, having the restrict dominance and negating of heroes. Like I actually I think it was maybe the restrict dominance portion because I feel like dominants are pretty good against this defense where, you kind of just want initiative to play Pride of Lions. And if you don't get that, then you're just not going to be able to set up or defend very well, I guess. And so I was like, all right, well, Doubt is another way to restrict dominance during battle because I do want to have my dominance available when I'm attacking, or like at least be able to turn them on and off as I want to. So like Complacent just didn't feel like it really fit. And so I had Fall of Man in here at one point. It kind of fit well because I had the Endless Treasures thing. I had Faith of Noah, which lets you search for a Genesis artifact. So I could go and get like Covenant with Noah, 20 shekels, or Fall of Man. And then that was like part of kind of, setting up my my offense a little bit too, kind of protecting my lone rescuers like Father Abraham and that kind of thing from Glory or Christian Martyr or what have you. And so I was thinking of going to that and rolling with the restrict dominance. Ended up cutting that, nixing that idea. I mean, but it just goes to show like there are different avenues that you can go with this deck. That's just not where I ended up, and I just kept Doubt because I felt like, I mean, despite Pride of Lions and Lurking both being like two of my best enhancements, I still have a decent number of single brigade enhancements that Doubt does not toss that would work pretty well, and just getting the battle extension can be pretty nice. I will say that Doubt is best in decks where you have like high impact single brigade enhancements, like ones that like you're taking out multiple heroes. Like I'm thinking of like Gray, like playing either self-destruction or curse their parents. Like those are both really good ones to take out multiple heroes, like all the heroes in battle in their single brigade. If you're just going to be like doing it to play a Swine Stampede, then it's not as good because you're still having to use more resources and you're not like taking away anything from them. You're extending the battle, you're still getting the block, but it's just not as impactful, I guess. Like you could have just had a Christian Martyr in that spot instead, and then maybe just gotten the block without having to play another card with it. And of course, Christian Martyr and Doubt aren't always going to be applicable in the same scenarios. But if I was just going to have one or the other, maybe Christian Martyr is better in this slot. Maybe Falling Away is better because then I have a little bit of synergy with Ruben in the reserve. But either way, I wanted to have an evil battle dominant that I could get with Unclean Until Evening because otherwise it was just all good stuff, and like it was either going to be Crowd's Choice or Woes, and it was like, I mean, they're both great to have, but I wanted to have a few more options in case I'd already gotten those two or something like that. Sometimes you're playing Crowd's Choice to search for Woes, and then Unclean Till Evening gets nothing. So having at least one option there was nice. As you can see, I've got 57 cards in the main deck, so that's how we ended up with 8 Dominance and 8 Lost Souls, and then a Hopper here. And that is, I think, just about everything that I could possibly have covered with the deck. No, just kidding. There are a few cards I didn't talk about, but you can figure those out on your own, or as you watch the rest of the video, watch the game against Josh Potratz or Kevinthedude on Discord. He and I got paired up for round 2 because we both won our first round games, or I at least won. I think he won outright. I mean, he's in the top half-ish. I won by a smaller margin, so I was pretty close to the bottom of the winners. So if he like tied or timeout won or whatever, that's a possibility. I don't remember for sure off the top of my head. Pretty sure he won. Anyways, we're going to be playing against him. He was playing a pretty much mono green Prophets offense with a little bit of like the silver Tudor Angels and I guess Daniel the Apocalyptus technically makes it so that he's not like fully mono green. Prince of the Air would get at least a couple of cards out of him. But mono green offense with a kind of Herod's splash defense with like a little bit of Prince of the Air, a little bit of Goliath, some stuff that would be tough to deal with, especially with this deck. Like that was actually maybe that's worth mentioning. I realized or recognized with this deck that Prince of the Air is definitely a liability. Faith of Abraham, adding an extra brigade there. Israel's Sword can add extra brigades. If I have a meek hero, then it's probably going to be red, and then I've got blue and green, maybe silver. And then, of course, Noah himself, when he converts, is just a huge target. So you've got to be very careful what you're allowing your opponent to do to you when you have Prince of the Air in the mix. So part of the mitigation for that was cards like First Sacrifice out of their hands to kind of clear the way, make sure I know what I'm dealing with. 20 shekels does that as well. And then Redemption can just pop them in territory. So that was another reason why Redemption was a great fit. That's something that we will see come up eventually. We at least talk about it during and or after the game. I don't remember all the exact timing on things, but yeah, you'll see where his defense is kind of unique and actually fairly well set up, I think, for handling this offense. So you'll see all of that in the game in a few minutes here. Before we get to that, I'm going to do a shout out to our sponsors over at Your Turn Games. I forgot to make it so that it looks like how you will normally see it. Some of my dark mode stuff that I like. But anyways, head on over to Your Turn Games to take advantage of all of the redemption supplies and products that they have available there. You can get booster packs and display boxes, all that, or like big deal kind of stuff like grab bags and battle boxes. Check out all of these different ways to kind of jumpstart your collection or to supplement your collection. Or if you just want a pre-built deck right away, Challenger decks and Contender decks are great options for that. Or Champion decks if you really just want to go all in, but those are a little pricey. So if you're just getting started, maybe start with a Contender deck or even a Challenger deck if you're into that. But I mean, I'm partial to the Contender decks because I build most of them. So a little plug for Your Turn Games, and I guess it was a little plug for myself there, which I guess I didn't really mean to. Whatever. Let's go ahead and get into the game. Thanks to Your Turn Games for sponsoring this channel. Let's do it.
Cool.
Souls.
No souls for me.
All right. Well, I rolled a 1.
All right. I will go first.
Okay.
No stars. You got any?
Is that worth using? No, I will not. Okay. I will use Prosperity. Discard Lions in the Den. Draw 2. Hey, we found one. Merry Christmas.
Thanks.
All right, what you got?
I have a house.
It's a nice house.
Oops.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I always thought that the green cards should be reveal instead of look. I thought that would have been a lot cooler because then I'd get around Nazareth. But
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. And you're prophesying it to everyone.
right, yeah.
This seems good on the first turn.
I can see it.
All right, and then you're good for me to go to battle.
Sure, yeah.
I'll look at the top 3 again. Let's see what's the best way to do this. I want that one on top, that one on top, that one on bottom.
All right.
Then draw those 2. And would you like to shuffle an evil card from your hand?
Oh, that's interesting.
I guess technically that's supposed to happen before I draw.
I'll assume that you were still going to draw depending on, or regardless of whether or not I shuffled something.
Reasonable.
I will shuffle. I think. So which one do I want to shuffle? Yeah, let's shuffle this one. You don't look like you're running a lot of brigades, so.
Reasonable.
Then, as one might expect, I would like to play a dominant. Is that good?
I'm gonna go ahead and grab this first.
All right. Fair.
Go ahead.
Play an evil crowd's choice. Oh. Right. What was I? Alright, well, I was thinking I could do something different, but I guess this will have to work. Let's do... I think we just do that one. This is funny because this is the same thing I think I did in the game I played earlier with this deck. Can I grab wild animals?
There's a suspicious amount of lions that I'm seeing.
Then I would like to go to block.
Yep.
Let's do the animals. Go wild. We're going to negate your draw. Get my C's back. And 4795. I guess I'm winning against the 47. So let's do that. We'll leave Samuel in battle.
Okay. I'll kill you.
Well, I guess that works. Let's give you prosperity.
That's good. Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay. Yeah, no stars. Well, darkness. Let's go get Nebby. And then get to shuffle some stuff if I put stuff down. So I guess I just don't put stuff down, probably. Yeah, I'll just go right to battle if that's good with you.
Yep.
Angel of the Winds. Let's do Abraham. Grab 3 visitors. Band. Go to I'd rather have a random card or an enhancement. Let's go with the random card. Oh, wait, no, he's not. I can't do him. Okay, never mind. We'll go with Jacob. Grab a Genesis enhancement from my deck, which will be probably let's go with this one. I don't know if that makes sense, but whatever. Then I'll ban to Joseph. Go get another Genesis card. Let's go with, I can't do that. Yeah, let's get Storehouse. And then, I don't know. No, I'm gonna play. I think I'm just gonna play out of their hands.
Okay.
Neither's great, but I guess that's better. So yeah, we'll just underdeck that one.
Cool. There you go.
Oops, not there. There.
Oh, you can.
I've done that before. Not gonna do it again. At least not intentionally. But all right, let's do. Yeah, I'll play 2x2. Go get Noah's Ark. Goes to my hand. 11. Yeah, okay. We'll put down Noah's Ark. Put down Storehouse. And guess we'll put down Nebby. And I'll pass.
Okay. You know what? I think the strat might just be Deborah and leave Deborah.
Okay.
I have a token.
Mind that.
And unfortunately, no covet.
All right. My block.
Yep.
All right. We got. Yeah, we've got another lion. I'm not reserved, but I'll abandon Nebby and toss the next.
Okay. That will work.
Cool. Oh, I get a soul for that too?
Oh, right. That's not how this works.
I mean, it can be. No,
Put
probably
that
not.
down.
It might be a little against the spirit of the game.
Yep.
Alright, do I want to use that star? I don't think so. Well, actually, no, I probably should. Yeah, we'll do. Yep. Offering your son, discard seized by Babylon. Try one.
Great.
Doesn't seem great. You're up to 6 in hand now. Maybe we just do it. Yeah, alright, I'll use Storehouse. Grab kind of Philistia.
Okay. Paul, Jonah. There's a lot of things I'd love to Jonah. Let's Jonah your Abraham.
Okay. Alright, well, I'll give you another opportunity here. I'll do Covenant of Philistia. And take Devouring Lion from my reserve.
Okay. I will not take an animal.
Okay.
But I will Jonah your Jacob.
Alright. Yeah, that seems good. Found a woes, so I'm just gonna play that now as evil and negate Jonah.
Okay.
Then I'm going to my territory class, play Offering Your Son. Let's go get which one do we want more? Yeah, let's get Covenant with Noah. And go ahead and activate that. Go get Eliezer. Put down Devouring Lion. Put down Isaac. And yeah, I'll go to battle if that's good with you.
Yep.
Let's do Abraham. Oh, wait. No, whatever. Could have just gotten a Eliezer with Abraham. So I guess instead we'll get Judah with Abraham. And add him to hand. I guess we'll band to Eliezer. Draw 3. Band to Judah, negate your Lost Souls, I guess. Band to Jacob. Go to deck for
I'd love to have a non-negated Joseph right now.
Jonah, yeah.
Or yeah, Jonah.
Yeah, if I hadn't found the woes, I was just gonna kind of deal with it and let you get up to 4 triggers, I think. And then Jacob will band to Isaac, who will play Esau from my reserve and draw 2.
Okay.
And that is my attack.
I think I will block of outsiders and draw 2 cards.
That's negated by Abraham.
Oh, right. My
I think
initiative.
in light of feudal inquisition, we're gonna just glory.
That's reasonable.
I will wait. This is a second turn, right?
Yes.
Cool. I'll activate book. Grab this Covenant
Oh,
of
right.
Prayer.
It does do that. I'll die.
Cool.
And you can have that.
Put down this artifact. Put down Noah, who I'm a little less worried about now. Down a siege army, hungry lion. You have lions. And let's just chuck first animals in reserve with storehouse and pass turn.
Okay. Activate that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and take that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not very fun.
Yeah, it does turn off a lot of things. Let's go ahead and do this guy.
Yep.
That you can go on the top. Those on bottom. And band to that. And then Watchman Daniel.
Okay, so you get evil search and
Although I
shuffle.
guess, hold on. Actually, that's the wrong. Oh well. Yeah.
Oh,
Now I
because yeah,
realize
it protects
this
Watchmen
gets
from harm.
it gets Daniel in battle, but doesn't actually protect. I'm supposed to do the Obadiah's to Samuel to Daniel.
Oh,
But
sure. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see if it matters here. I mean, I guess it, this way kind of makes Obadiah's somewhat CBN, so pseudo, or like the band at least, pseudo CBN. Okay. Sure. We'll just try this out. Block with Nebby and toss the next.
yep.
Minish.
Mm-hmm.
Play mask. Draw 3. Yeah, I'll play. I'll play Stolen Blessing to discard Obadiah's.
Okay. So that's my initiative then.
Yeah, I'm a 15, 16. So yeah, go ahead.
I will toss you for 3.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think makes it stalemate your initiative.
Yeah, it puts me down to 13 attack or toughness. Yeah. I will. Yeah, I'll just pass.
Okay. What do I think you have, and how greedy do I want to be? Mm.
And I'm kind of curious what you have now. If you tossed the one that lets you shuffle, what, 5 evil cards right now?
Yeah. As long as my Daniel is alive, I don't really care about anything, any of the evil cards in your territory.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, I'm playing this for sure. The question is, can greed just get rid of Nevi? I gotta shuffle, so kind of for get rid of him for a while, and hope you don't have a negate, or I can just get rid of your enhancement, bring back my dude, and pull glory and glory you.
Right.
But having glory for next turn would be nice, but I will just go ahead and get rid of Stolen Blessing. It's my. Wait, where did it kill him? Oh, it did kill him. Oops. Get him back. And then pull. Oh no, I forgot about this too. This is interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this so I don't lose next turn.
Sure.
And hope that this all works.
Okay. It's my initiative then.
Yep.
Alright, let's do this. Oh wait. Oh yeah, shoot. So let's see. I think Watchman negates being able to ban to reserve, right?
Correct. You would not be able to search for the target.
Yeah. Huh. Um.
I knew there was a reason I put that Watchman in there.
Right. Okay, so that wouldn't work either. Territory, set aside area, or reserve. So just hand territory. Oh, this can be in a set aside area. That would have been nice to remember last game when I'm like 8 of my evil characters got set aside by King Xerxes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, man, that Daniel. All right, what are your numbers? You got 23 attack. I've got 11 toughness right now.
Yep.
All right, well, let's just block with, or let's just ban to Siege Army. Puts me at 22 toughness, I believe.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm still minish.
Yes.
I will doubt. I was really gonna be disappointed if you went with the glory play because doubt would have got me to exactly 23 toughness, so it wouldn't have been enough to survive. But yeah, I believe we're in stalemate.
I'll take that. Yeah, I pass.
All right, cool.
Was not expecting the doubt. That's for sure. I think that's one of the only times I've actually been blocked by it. Usually I just like have an enhancement and kill it.
Well, yeah, it's especially not great when it's negated, but
Oh, that's true.
just having the numbers is nice.
Yeah, I shouldn't have let my been so like my Deborah dying and losing my ability to pull stuff from reserve so easily
Mm,
does definitely hurt this deck's offensive resources.
sure, yeah.
Be
Um,
a little more careful with her.
yeah, upkeep, doubt, gone, storehouse. Grab first animals back. We'll leave woes on Jonah. Let's do Covenant with Philistia. Grab the one I wanted to ban to last turn. Draw 2. Let's activate Shekels, I guess, and let's. Guess I could have negated something else with woes and bounced your Jonah, but you might not have somebody else to play, so let's just bounce my Judah and see what you got. Yep, nobody else. All right. Falling away, grapes, tenants. To play around of grapes and falling away. Down Sheol. Down Enosh. Let's make. Yeah, we'll put down Judah as Meek. And we'll put Faith of Abraham on Abraham. Put down Angel of the Winds. And yeah, I guess I will go to battle. Let's go with you.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do Abraham. Search. Go to grab 3 visitors. Ban to Leaser. Draw 3. Do Covet. That's what we want to see. Ban to Jacob. Grab Israel's sword. Then ban to Isaac and draw 2. And that is my attack.
I will. This guy. That. Then you have a Faith of Abraham.
Yep. All right. Yeah. No. All right. Yeah. Because I guess all my heroes are protected. So we'll do
Yeah, as much as I'd love to choose an Angel of the Winds to
right.
block,
Yeah,
we have one.
I knew there was a reason I did all that. So yeah, I think we'd just play Israel's Sword to bounce you.
Yeah, unfortunately that does work. And I assume that Son of God's not the last card in your deck.
It is not, fortunately. Yeah. Do that.
Yeah, it's too bad because I have a Goliath in this deck, and
I set myself up
you
to
like
get
Goliath locked
Goliath.
yourself since like turn 2.
Yeah.
I was hoping. I was like, come on, deceivable
Yeah,
Goliath, either one.
that's fair. So I kind of like because of the Ark and Storehouse thing, like Prince of Persia gets me and Goliath gets me, and so that's why I'm like first sacrifice out of their hands, and then I also put in Redemption
Yeah.
to deal with
Oh,
Prince of the Air too, because Prince of the Air is pretty good against this deck.
yep. And then he's in here too.
Right, yeah. So I was like, yeah, if between or if I can deal with those, like maybe they get me once, but yeah, then hopefully I can play around it for the rest, and then like Lord provides hits Prince and a bomb, which is nice.
Yep.
And then First Animals is fun with Faith of Abraham, so didn't get to do it though. I was hoping.
So surely there's a Pride of Lions in there
Yes,
somewhere.
yeah, just didn't find it. Yeah, the whole idea was like I wanted to try out the fact that you can use the new, or you can use symbolic lions now with Pride of Lions. So Roaring Lion and Winged
Oh.
Lion. Winged Lion can band a Nevi, and then if I
Could you
do
previously not Pride to symbolic lions?
right, yeah, they basically announced that change when they released Roaring Lion. Because yeah, before you could not do Winged Lion with Pride. But no, they I don't know. I guess changed it that it doesn't have to be an actual animal to be a lion, which
I see.
kind of makes sense. But like, I mean, I could see it going either way. I see why it was ruled how it was originally, and I can see why they switched it. But
Yeah. It is funny that Roaring Lion like has in its identifiers that it is a lion.
right, yeah,
I think it's good that it does,
yeah,
but it's also
yeah.
funny.
Devouring Lion
Roaring
does
Lion,
not.
lion.
League of Lions does not. But yeah, because it's symbolic, I think they wanted to make sure that it was clear.
Yep.
But yeah, so I thought it was cool because now that you have two orange lions, and I have Sin and Blasphemy with twice afflicted in reserves to get Pride of Lions back
Hmm.
in case I don't play it on a lion, so I can shuffle it.
Yeah,
But
I guess the pride might have gotten you out of the turn after Deborah died. I was going to do Falling Away one of your heroes. Although I guess I wouldn't be able to Falling Away your heroes because of Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark might not have been down when I was originally planning this, but I
yeah,
was wanting to go Deborah, pull Elijah, have played Falling Away to on one of
oh,
your heroes to make a
sure,
target,
yeah,
and then exchange to a bander. But uh, Pride would have potentially been a problem there.
yeah, yeah. I feel like with Pride plus Lurking, set myself up pretty well
Yes.
against the Doubt against the choose the blocker
Yep.
stuff. Um, yeah, and then I don't know. Maybe I wasn't like super sold on Doubt, but I kind of liked it because pretty much everything except for Pride and Lurking is Mono Brigade, and the Dominant Restrict is kind of nice. And I wanted something to grab with Unclean till evening, and Doubt seemed pretty decent for that. But Yeah, I don't know, could just be Martyr or something. So I saw that you had Goliath, Prince, mediums. Like how much of the Herod stuff do you actually have in there? Is it just like super
I
splash?
have the ones that matter.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Did you have the futile when
Not when
with
you
outsiders?
did something. It's where's my dial?
Yeah, I guess I figured. Yeah, futile, no straw, or abandonment all would have gotten me. So
What did happen to my futile?
it's
Because
on the board
it's
here.
in my. Oh, okay, there
You
it is.
played
Yeah.
it out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the turn that you gloried, it was a complete bluff. I had nothing to play on him. I was just cycling
Sure.
him.
Yeah. I kind of figured that, but I was like, whatever. In case he drew into something, like,
But that was also potential. Both cycling the Deborah and cycling the Outsiders ended up being painful later on because I would have potentially been able to Outsiders, underdeck some dudes, Tenants, get rid of another dude, uh, and then like falling away the final dude
sure,
at some
yeah,
point. I
yeah,
wouldn't have
because
been
that.
able to do that obviously once you got the Faith of Abraham down, but
Well, I mean,
although I
outsiders,
guess
you could just underdeck Faith of
yeah,
Abraham
that's true.
or Abraham himself.
I might not have been able. You might have been able to put enough dudes in the band that it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, yeah. I think. Let's see. Yeah, probably like if I know you still have outsiders, I probably don't put down Angel of the Winds. Then I probably have Judah in the band, so yeah, I'm at 3 brigades. But yeah,
Yeah, this is
okay,
a modified version of a defense that I got from Jay that I've been trying. I do like it.
huh? So yeah, because you got Stricken. That you so then yeah, you can play Tenants on Goliath as long as you have a Meek Law Soul. Do you have a Temple Guard in reserve or something?
No, it's in main.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then, yeah, that's kind of cool. The Temple Guard can play Abandonment, Lurking, all that. Yeah.
Yep, and then where outsiders can play like everything.
Yeah. That's actually a lot of evil
Jay's
characters.
version is a little bit heavier on demons. It's got a KOT and a Gates of Hell in here.
Oh, sure.
And he actually also had Emperor Nero and Denarius. I ended up cutting the Emperor Denarius. That's how I got down to 50. Was cutting
Okay.
that package and putting outsiders in. Because the Denarius is like obviously fantastic when you hit
Mm-hmm.
it, but I didn't in a world where I don't really have any way. I guess I technically have House of Samuel to potentially accelerate, like make it increase the number of opening hands where I find delivered into Denarius.
Yeah.
Um, I if the deck only worked when it got to do Denarius, then I wouldn't be comfortable with that.
Sure.
So I was hoping to make a version that would have enough consistent turn by turn card draw from the offense
Yeah.
and like cycle incremental stuff from outsiders, prince, whatever, that I would be able to get there and have and pack more stuff into it. So by drawing fewer cards but having more power in the deck.
Yeah. Hmm.
But I did feel like I was just a little bit just not going through the deck fast enough this game.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that I felt like I kind of or like Green has trouble with is there's a lot of different draw stuff, but you can hardly do them all at the same time or like all together. It's like you can draw two on Deborah or draw two with Man of God or draw two with Ezekiel Watchman or something, but it's
What's
hard to.
nice is when if I have a spare angel in territory and I can draw four with Ezekiel.
No,
Uh,
sure. Yeah.
that is always nice. And you
Yeah.
get potentially some draws. Oh, he just crashed. Um, some draws from a few of the enhancements, but
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Yeah, do not be afraid to get a draw two. Okay. Yeah, I was
there's
wondering
also a
if you
golden
had.
cherubim in here to go in the Herod's temple.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that helps.
I have not managed to activate it in either of the games I've played with the deck so far.
Yeah, I think the getting the woes off the Kona Philisteo was pretty clutch for me. Like I still think I would have had an okay attack, but I definitely wouldn't have accelerated as much as I did to negate the Jonah. But is there a Jeremiah in reserve too?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so figured. Yeah, so defender can go to Ezekiel and Jeremiah. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay.
And the Jeremiah is very much just like a value Jeremiah. It's not like there's no Potter and Clay. It's just
Right.
he's
Yeah.
just an annoying guy with infinite value behind him.
Yeah. Yeah. That was kind of the thing that I was kind of like or if I started getting pride going, I felt like as long as I could get rid of Daniel at some point, then I could probably manage the rest of the offense. But Jeremiah would have been the tricky part once you got him CBN.
Yep. I don't have repeatable CBN.
Sure.
I guess
Yeah.
technically Deborah can do it. So I could do a CBN Jeremiah every other turn, but I am not expecting to have to do that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Do you just had those two angels, no cherubims or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
I potentially want to like might put I could put cherubim in here for like free hand look and like an extra chance to have and I mean and getting rid of evil dominance when they have some.
Yeah.
I'm just not expecting people to have a ton of evil dominance right now, but
Right.
I might snipe some falling aways and maybe a woes here and
Mm.
there and the odd doubt player and have an extra odds to draw thing for Ezekiel because my another version of green that I had been playing was the Zachariah package. Um, that was doing just trying to spam protected bans with the
Sure.
draw three Zachariah Angel on top,
Yeah.
and having the third Angel definitely increases the number of times that you get to Ezekiel for four
Right. Yeah.
early on.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Were you just doing? Yeah, you're doing patrollers then for the D3 there.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like especially with Obadiah's and Samuel, like it seems pretty good when you just get the big band and be protected. Hmm.
Top
Nice.
deck cherub. I'm looking at the new cherubim. The top deck cherubim is actually somewhat interesting. It is the most restrictive though.
The wait, top deck is in
They
the
they
legacy rare
top
one.
deck evil. They top deck an evil from hand if
Oh
they
yeah,
do not you top deck their evil card.
yeah. I mean, I kind of like the reserve one. I like because I mean the draw one can be nice. Otherwise, you can just stop reserves and then you still have the broad banding ability.
Yeah, that is true. I should probably just run that.
But I don't know. It's still kind of risky if you don't have any silver enhancements to play on them, because then they just leave you with only that cherubim.
Yeah, that is possible, but I do. Green is now like having Obadiah's 100 and the Covenant especially does make it somewhat difficult for
Sure.
them to mess with your profits like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Hmm. Nice. All right. Well, glad we could get the game in here
Yep.
earlier. That worked out well. And let's see. Go ahead and pop in our score and get back to the rest of our Saturdays here.
Sounds good.
All right. Have a good one. Catch you later.